So this is what's going to happen, guys. You guys, uh, so this is what's going to happen. We are going to be finishing up the final review, which is what we covered last week. Um, oh my God, my computer. Is anyone else having tech issues? Selena, thank you. Laura, thank you. I'm going to put, Emmanuel, can you give me your birthday, please? Don't forget to give me your birthday. That's the review that we are finishing up. Marifer, thank you. Emmanuel, thank you. So this is how it's gonna work, guys. Um, you guys are going. um, we're gonna finish the final. Now, I know on Friday we were. Thank you, Jessica. We were going back and forth and back and forth on you know, I do, you do, I do, you do. However, um, for the sake of time, we are not going to do that for today. Um, what we're going to do is we're going to get started where we left off, which was question 6. Um, so we're going to start on question 6, and then I am going to go through all the questions. Thank you, Jose. Um, guys, don't forget to put your birthday in the chat if you guys are just coming in. Um, so we're going to go through, I am going to go through every single question. As I'm going through the questions, thank you, Jennifer. You guys are, thank you, Manny. You're going to let me know if you guys understand it by give me a thumbs up or a clap. For if you are not understanding something, you can unmute yourself and let me know, like, hey, how did you get this? So we can communicate. Or you can put it into chat, or you can, you know, do the reaction of raising your hand to let me know that you do have a question and then put it into chat. Whatever you guys need in order to ask those questions. We should finish with about 20 minutes to spare. And in those 20 minutes, those last 20 minutes, you guys are going to be able to go through the, you know, whichever question you think you might have problems with and solve that one and ask me, like, hey, did I do this right? So I'll let you guys work on your side the last 20 minutes. All right. So we'll go through all the questions, you know, pages 6 through 17. I'm going to do mine first. And then if you guys have questions on how did you get that, then you guys let me know. I completed more than 10. Oh, well, there you go. Awesome. So you can see if you know, how well you did, and I can double check your work later on today. When is this assignment due? This assignment is due Thursday. I would like everything to be done by Thursday. When is your final? Tomorrow. So how is your final going to work? You're going to come to class. It'll be open all day or during that period. Then at tutoring time, I'm going to reopen it again for an hour. And then if you guys need it on Wednesday during tutoring time, it'll be open for 2 hours. You do not need to come to Zoom for during that time. And then on Thursday, you guys can finish it. So you guys have more than enough time to be able to get done with your final. So you know, whatever you guys think you guys need. Someone is already putting in chat, oh, I think it's this answer. I would actually prefer you guys, like, if you guys know what the answers are, or if you guys have an idea of what certain pieces are, put that into chat. Right now, all of you guys should be on Zoom. You do not need to open up ClassKick for right now, because I am going to be showing you guys everything. So stay on Zoom. Don't look at ClassKick right now. and give me the answers as I'm kind of asking for it. I am going to go, like I said, kind of on the quicker side, unless someone stops me. All right. So this is all review. We have covered absolutely everything. So do I really need to go a lot in depth? No, unless someone at set like gives me a clap, raises their hands, or asks me a question. So if you guys don't understand something, this is the time to ask. So please, please, please ask. And if you have predictions, like someone's already predicting, the answer is going to be something, put that into chat and then let's see, if you guys are doing it right. So try and solve these in your head before I get there. But again, I'm going to be explaining these and giving you guys some basic ideas as you're going through to see if to help you guys out. Can you use this on your final? Yes. Please, please, please use this on your final. Hey, Alexis, can you put your birthday in the chat, please? So, again, I do want you guys to be able to do that. And all of you guys, again, should stay in Zoom and be working with me. Thank you, Alexis. All right. So look at question 6. Again, all of you guys should stay in Zoom. I am going to go through all of these questions first, and then the last 20 minutes or so, you guys are going to have a chance to work on them on your own. When is this due? It's due Thursday. When is your final? Tomorrow. How many questions are there? Every single question that's on your review is on your final. So that's how many questions. Obviously not doubled. Remember, you are doing the purple ones. I am doing the ones with no purple on it. All right. Which equation best represents the graph below? So I see I have a line. When I see a line, I am looking for y equals mx plus b. So I can figure out a couple of things. One, what's my y-intercept going to be? Now, this is multiple choice. So sometimes I'm going to give you guys hints on how you guys should be able to find like process of elimination when it comes to multiple choice. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I am trying to give you guys some testing tips as we're going through all of this as well. So not only am I reviewing everything, but giving you guys testing tips at the same time. So what is my y-intercept? My b is my y-intercept, and it's this point right here. So I'm going to draw an arrow that way. What is this point? This point is at -1. So let's look. Can I cross any out? Unfortunately, no, I can't. What else can I do to see if I can cross any of these out? Well, this is I can find out if it's a positive or negative slope. This is slope, and it's going down. Okay, do I have any positives? No, they're all negative, so I can't get rid of anything. So let's figure out my slope. Let's do green. So I have a point right here. Keep going until you see that they're crossing. So see, this doesn't cross a corner. That doesn't cross a corner, but right here it does. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, -3. So what's my slope? So far, I have a -3 on top because it's going down. 1, 2, +2. So which is my answer? My answer is going to be C. Be careful, because if you look up here, it also is almost identical, only the numbers are kind of switched. So again, be careful. You don't want to go too fast when you're doing these because you don't want to mix them up. So again, always up and down first and then left and right. Up and down first, then left and right. Yeah, sometimes that happens. So I'm going to write Whenever you see a star means tips. For slope, up and down first, then left and right. So whenever you see my little boxes, I'm going to give you guys kind of tips as you guys are going through these. Again, as you guys are solving this, you guys should be looking at the top and seeing what I did. So I had a student in first period who, or just in general, like if you guys see me do, certain work, this doesn't obviously need that work, but you should probably, draw your arrows, and highlight whichever question you guys have right. So any questions with question 6? Thumbs up. Are we good? Clap if we need any help with this one. This one is a very basic question. So again, if you guys need help, ask now. All right. All right. I see no claps, so I'm going to continue. We're going to go to question 7. Again, you guys will be able to do these in the last 20 minutes and then for homework as well. So question 7 says, find a linear function, which is represented by the table below. Okay, what do we know about linear functions? Linear functions is y equals mx plus b. Since we know that a linear function is that, we can already cross one of these off. So C is not going to be our answer because linear functions are like this, y equals mx plus b. So we know it could either be A, B, or D. Okay, cool. Linear functions have one of two types of patterns. So it either is an adding pattern or a subtracting pattern. If I look at the table, my numbers are getting bigger. So that means I'm going to have an addition pattern because my numbers are getting bigger. So what do I need to add to 3 to get to 7? 3 plus what gives me 7? Anyone let me know? 4, yeah. So I'm going to add 4. Double check and make sure that that still works for all the others. 7 plus 4, does that give you 11? Yes. 11 plus 4, does that give you 15? Yes. Okay. So we know that our pattern is going to be plus 4. Technically, at this point, we already know the answer. The answer is going to be right here at D. How do we know that? Because the 4, the number in front of our X, is our pattern. However, I want, just in case, like yours over here, you have multiple of the same answers. So let's just double check and see, how would I find out the other ones? Well, this stops at 2. So I need a 0 and I need a 1. And how would I go about that? Well, going backwards, I'm subtracting 4. So 3 minus 4 gives me a negative 1. And a negative 1 minus 4 gives me a negative 5. So this negative 5 would go right here. Hey, Tonya, we're working on our final review. Watch what I'm doing on here, and then you'll have a time at the very end to do the questions on your own. All right, so give me a thumbs up. Are we good with this? Clap if we need any help with this. All right, I don't see any claps, so I'm gonna move on. I'm going to go to page 8. Notice page 8, I do say that this is a teacher question. So all of page 8 is going to be me. Page 9 has the purple. This is you guys. So you guys will do all of page 9. So let's go to page 8, and I'll help you guys out with each and every one of these questions. Be careful with your graphs. Double check and make sure that each one of these numbers is going up by 1. If not, then you're going to have to go up by whatever number that is. So this one's 1, 2, 3, 4. So obviously I know, this is by ones. So this point right here is 4. So that's going to be my initial value right here. This is my y-intercept. This is a line. So that means I'm going to have a linear function, which means it's not exponential and it's not a constant multiplier because it's a straight line. How do I find my rate of change? Well, the y-intercept is always your first point, and then you, again, zoom super in if you guys need to. Climb all the way down, 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 down until you hit a point. The corner, there's one. Keep going. See another corner, there's another one. So I'm going to do this in a different color. I'm going to go 1, 2. That was a -2. 1, 2, 3, +3. So what is my constant rate? That's -2, fraction bar, and then a 3. And then my equation is my constant rate, which is first -2 over 3 x, and this is a +4. So this is a +4. Please, please, please do not forget this step. A lot of you guys tend to forget that step. So don't forget that. Don't forget to put the X and that plus sign. So thumbs up or clap. How do we feel about this question? All right. I don't see any claps, so we'll move on. Again, if you have questions, this is a time to ask because our final is tomorrow. All right, let's look at this question. Again, initial value, we should probably zoom in a lot for our graph. My initial value is always my y-intercept. So where is my y-intercept? It's going to be right here. This is 3. So my y-intercept is 3. Let me zoom out. Is it linear or exponential? You see how this curves? Since it's curving, it's going to be exponential. So it's not linear, and I don't have a constant rate of change. Remember, it's just a cross. So if it's exponential, it's going to be a multiplier. If it's linear, it's going to be a rate of change. Now, I remember one of you guys did this table, and I absolutely love the idea of a table. Here's my X, here's my Y. And I'm, again, going to zoom in a lot. And I'm going to go to 1, climb all the way up. See how there's a corner right here? Go over. Here's my number. What number is that? It's 6. Now, on your final, if you guys see that number and you're like, hey, I can't understand, like, I don't know what number this is, you can ask me and I can let you guys know what number that is. Just draw like the line, circle it, and then tell me like what is that number, and I can let you guys know what that number is. If you guys can't tell, you should be able to tell though, but just in case. Then go to 2, climb all the way up, 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 up until you hit that corner. Go over. What number is that? That's a 12. So at 0, my number is 3. At 1, it's 6. And at 2, it's 12. So since our numbers are going up, we know that's going to be a multiplication. So what do I need to multiply to 3 to get to 6 and 6 to get to 12? Can anyone let me know? Yeah, we're going to be multiplying by 2. If our numbers were getting smaller, then that would be dividing. And I'm going to put that here. So our multiplier here would be 2. And I'm going to put that as a comment right here. Star. If dividing pattern, then it's a fraction. So if dividing pattern, then it's a fraction. Example being 1 divided by 2. Here, I'm going to write the equation. Now, let's say I'm mean and telling you guys you're not able to use your notes on your final, which you can, but just saying, if you weren't able to, always look at the rest of the test and see maybe if one of the like somewhere on the test gives you guys a tip on what you're missing, because you kind of know what this equation looks like. You know it doesn't look like this. You know it kind of has an x as an exponent. So you're like, okay, I know what it, like if I see it, I'll know what it is. So go to one of the other pages, like this one, and you can see, oh, that's what it is. Okay, that it should look like this. That's if you guys couldn't use your notes, but that would be my hint for you guys. If you guys don't know something, go through the rest of the test, and that's for like any of your subjects, even history, even English. Sometimes like answers to certain questions are in the final or in your test, like any test. So let's write this up. Our initial value is the first number, so I'm going to write the 3. My multiplier is going to be next. That's a 2. And then don't forget the variable on top. If you are typing this, oops, no back. You can write it like this, 3 parentheses, 2 parentheses with a caret and then an X. Or you can draw the X. It's up to you, whichever way you guys want to do it. All right, how do we feel about this question? Are we good or do we need help? All right. Let's move on to the next one since I don't see any claps. All right. For initial value, remember we need to find where x equals 0. Where does x equal 0? At 2. Now, for linear and exponentials, remember a pattern for linear is either adding or subtracting. Exponential is multiplying or dividing. So look at these numbers. These numbers are getting bigger. So it has to be either adding or multiplying. It's not going to be subtracting or dividing. Either adding or multiplying. So what do I need to do to 2 to get to 6? I can add 4 or I can multiply by 3. Well, let's see. If I add 4 here, does that give me 18? No. So it's not these. Let's see 3. Does that continue? 6 times 3 is 18. 18 times 3 is 54. Yes, that works. So it's not exponential. Oh, just kidding. It is exponential. It's not linear, which means it's not a rate of change. So thumbs up. Do you understand the way that I did that step? Like that is probably the easiest way to be able to figure out if it's linear or exponential is just figuring out, okay, add, subtract here, multiply, divide here. Is it going to be linear or exponent? Is it, it's getting bigger? So it has to be one of these two instead. We now know it's exponential because we're multiplying by 3, which is going to be our multiplier because we're getting bigger. What does our equation look like? Again, start with the initial value. It's going to be 2 parentheses 3 parentheses x. So how do we feel about that question? Are we good? Do we need help? All right. For the next question, Ms. Gomez spent $5. What does spending mean? It means I'm taking away $5 from whatever the whole time. Spending means to subtract. Each day on Starbucks. She started the school year with $60. Okay, cool. What's your initial value? Wherever you started. So what did you start off with? I started off with 60. Cool. Remember, this is an adding and subtracting pattern. This is multiplying and dividing pattern. I'm spending, which means it's a subtraction symbol, which means that I'm going to have a linear function, which means not exponential, not a constant multiplier. How much am I spending by? See that subtraction? It has to be with that number. It has to be a -5. Not +5, but a -5. Because we're spending it. And that's the only way we know that we're going to have a negative. And then what's going to be our equation? Start with the rate of change, -5x. I don't like how the x looks. There we go. Plus 60. How do we feel about that one? Any questions on this one? All right. Don't see any questions. Again, none of you guys need to be taking screenshots because this is already on your page. Page 9 is for you guys to do, but we're not going to do that now. We're going to do that later. And we're on page 10. So again, we're going to be working on page 10. We've done this question before as a bell work. So let's review that one more time. It says the data table below represents a linear function. All right, so what do we know about linear functions? What question? Oh, so someone's asking like, why do we start with initial value for exponential? but for linear, we start with exponential rate. Reasons. Because that's how the equation is. Um, I have no good answer for you. Technically, the x is always in front, but because this is being multiplied to this, then we have to put it in front of it. But the x is normally always in front, but because this is being multiplied together, this number has to be in front. But it's something that you just have to memorize. Is, you know, for linear functions, your initial value is in the back. For exponential, it's going to be in the front. And it's, again, something that you just have to memorize, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I don't have a better answer for you. Because math teachers are mean? I don't know. And I always like wondered certain things because I was like, okay, why do you guys do that for this and not for the other? And it's just they have certain rules, and because they have to follow those rules, sometimes it just messes it up. And again, you're always talking about linear versus exponential. So you can kind of be like, okay, one's going to start with it, one's not going to start with it. So it's probably in a way, it's a good thing that they're different because it's like versus each other. I have no good answers for you. All right, so what do we know about linear functions? Well, we know linear functions is y equals mx plus b. And we know that our pattern is either going to be an addition or subtraction pattern. All right, true or false, I need to know all of these. If worst comes to worst, you have no idea where to start with this. Start with this equation right here. Actually, no, before that, look at these numbers. Are these numbers getting bigger or smaller? From 9 to 33, getting bigger. So we know we're going to have a positive pattern, which means we can look at C and say, is the function has a positive rate of change? We know that's true before we even start. Because again, we see that the numbers are getting bigger, which means that we're adding a number, which means that our rate of change, our slope, is going to be positive. So that's first key. You guys can do that without doing any work whatsoever. The second thing that you guys can do if you have no idea where to start is you can start with this equation right here and plug in this 2 and see if you guys get 9. If you do, maybe double check with the 4 and see if you get 15. So how would you do that? You would do y equals 3 parentheses 2 plus 3. That's a horrible 3. So y equals 3, 2 plus 3, and see if you get 9. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 3 is 9. We can try it with 4. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Again, we can now say, yes, this is true. Again, worst case scenario, if you guys had no idea what to do. And if that's true, then you guys can go here. Rate of change is 6. No, it's not. It's 3. This is false. The y-intercept is 1. No, it's not. It's 3. This is false. So notice how technically you don't have to do any work to do this one. You could have done it this way and been able to get all of your answers. If you want to do the work, though, and not the cheater way, quote unquote, you guys can follow these steps. So first, you can look here, and we can find the distance here. 15 minus 9. 15 minus 9 gives me 6. Double check and make sure it's the same. 21 minus 15. Yes, that also gives me 6. However, these are going by 2s. So I need to divide this by 2. 2 goes into 6 3 times. So when I'm writing my equation, and yes, you do need to fill out this table. I know my my slope is going to be 3. I can make myself an extra table to find out what my initial value is. So this is my x, this is my y. I have 0, 1, and 2. 2 was 9. If this is plus 3, then that means going backwards would be minus 3. So 9 minus 3 gives me a 6. And then 6 minus 3 would give me a 3. So this would be a plus 3, which means this is, oops, this is a 3. Oh. So you can either do this work down here, or you can do process of elimination and work backwards. This only works if it's true. If it wasn't true, then you would see if any of these match this equation. Like, let's say that this was 2 and this was 2. Then you would say, oh no, this can't, like, this doesn't work. And so you would have to, like, it's tricky if you guys do it this way. You're not always going to 100% be able to do it that way. This way, you're always going to be able to do it, showing your work. Find the distance, double check and make sure this one's going by 2, so we're going to have to cut it in half. If it was going by 1s, whatever you guys got by when you subtracted, that's it. Kind of like what we've done before. Okay, so how do we feel about this question? All right. And for the most part, again, we've already covered this one once before, so you should feel fairly fine. All right, you guys see a word problem and you're freaking out already, and you're like, wow, this is huge. Do not freak out. A lot of times when you guys see word problems, 90% of the time, most of this stuff doesn't even matter. So this says, the total cost of an order of coffee cups from a company consists of the cost of each cup plus a one-time design fee. So each cup plus there's, because you're ordering something, you're going to have to pay this no matter what. Kind of, I guess, like a shipping fee or something. The cost of each cup is the same regardless of how many cups are ordered. That is only here because some companies give you a discount after so many different cups of coffee. All of this stuff, don't care about. It's just a story. It doesn't tell you anything. Not really. The company provides the following examples to customers to help them estimate the total cost of the order of cups. Again, none of that stuff matters. What is this? This is telling you guys right here where to plot those points and where to connect your lines. So 10 cups for 60, that's right there, that point. And then 40 cups for 210, that's right there. So that you do need just to see those points. What is the slope of a line in the graph? Be careful. Look at this graph. It's going up by tens. Also here, it's also going up by tens. So when we're figuring out what our slope is, you need to be careful because we have to count by tens. Now, in order to find the slope, we can either pick these two really long points, or I can go up, 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 up. Oh, there's a point right there. There's a corner. Up, 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 up. There's a corner right there. So I can go to those points instead. Count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This is 50. 1, that's 10. So what's my slope? My slope is 50 over 10. This can be simplified though. 10 goes into 50 5 times. My answer here is 5. For B, what is the cost of the one-time design fee? This is your y-intercept. So where is your y-intercept at? Nuh-uh. Nice try. Go have real breakfast. Sorry, my son's trying to get a bag of Cheetos for breakfast. Yeah, it's 10. So my y-intercept right here is 10. It's a bento box. Now put it together, and I get y equals 5x plus 10. All right. How do we feel about this one? Again, all those words kind of make it look scary, but all you're doing is finding the slope, the y-intercept, and the amount of cups. How did I get 5? So again, zooming into the graph, I need to find the slope. So I find where these points are. These are corners. So I count up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We're counting up by tens because it's going up by tens. And then 10 here because it's 10. So I get 50 over 10. And then I simplify that into 5 because 10 goes into 50 5 times. So when I do my slope here, I'll just write 5x. Good question. Anything else? All right. Unfortunately, you know, I was dumb and didn't pay attention to the way that this line was going and didn't realize that it wasn't showing you guys all of the intercepts. So you guys look out. I'm not going to have you guys do this. So page 12, you do not need to do. So you guys should see that I've crossed it out for you guys. You do not need to do page 12. That was one of yours, so you don't have to do page 12, which is question 10. So we're on page 13. Page 13 is very easy, guys. It's just solve for x. You guys have done this a billion times. Super easy. Move that negative 2 over. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. The 2's go away. I'm left with negative 6x equals, same sign, add and keep. I'm going to keep it negative. 16 plus 2 is 18. The hardest part about this question is keeping track of all those negatives. I need to divide both of these by a negative 6. Don't forget those negatives or else you will lose half a point. So x equals positive 3 because a negative and a negative gives me a positive. So then it would be here. And again, guys, if you guys are doing all the work here, don't forget to put the x over, like the answer on the line. Okay? If you have a hard time with drawing everything here, again, you guys can type, or you guys have the option to do this on paper. Just make sure when you guys take a picture of it, I can see all of your steps and everything is numbered. So the numbers need to match. I would prefer all of your work to be on your final though. But if not, I would rather, get it on paper. But yes, you do need to show all of your work, even on your side and especially on your final. So how do we feel about this one? Thumbs up, clap. Did I lose you guys? Because this is a negative 16 and a negative 2. I owe you 16. I owe another 2. So I still owe you. I owe you 18. Does that make sense? Okay. Hey, Kevin. We're working on our final from Friday. Pay attention to Zoom, but here's a link to what you guys will be working on here in the next few minutes. But I'm finishing my side first, and then you guys will have time to work on your side at the end. All right. Question 14. This one says solve for y. All that is asking you guys to do is to convert to y equals mx plus b. That's all it's asking you guys to do, is to convert this to look like that. So I need to get the y all by itself. So how do I do that? Well, I got to get rid of this x because the x should be on the other side. So subtract 3x from both sides. I'm left with negative 4y equals. These cannot be added together. You're going to leave them side by side. So I have 3x, negative 3x, plus 8. Cannot add them because the 8 doesn't have an x. Divide all of this by a negative 4. Don't forget that negative, that does need to go with it. Watch your sign, guys. I'm left with y equals, be careful, a negative and a negative. This is where you get a positive. And I can't simplify 3 over 4 because they don't go into anything. So it's just going to be negative 3 over 4x. A positive and a negative, that turns negative. 4 goes into 8 2 times. So what's my answer? I have 3 over 4x minus 2. And again, when you guys are solving these, your question's down here, mine's up here. Look at what I did. Same thing goes with your final. Look at how I solved it. You guys will be solving it the same way. So if your answer doesn't look like mine, you're doing it wrong. Obviously, you know, you'll have different numbers and signs and stuff. So how do we feel about this one? Thumbs up or clap? Okay, good talk, guys. All right, we're on question 15. It's asking me what is the y coordinate of the system of equations. So it's letting us know that we're going to have a point, and it only wants me to find this y. It doesn't care about the x. It wants the y. So looking at this, technically I could graph and if graphing, convert both equations to y equals mx plus b. All right, so if you're going to graph, both of these two equations need to be y equals mx plus b. However, what we could do is substitution. And looking at this, again, I want the y, so I need all of this to be y's. So this needs to be converted or subbed. So this needs to go away. So substitute that. Because I need all of these to be y's because it's asking me for the y. If it wanted the x coordinate, then all of these needed to be x's. So depending on what I need here, if this is the x and I need to get rid of this, then this y needs to go over because I need to have the x all by itself. So I'm going to subtract y. The reason why, again, I need all of these to be y's. So I get x equals, I can't combine these, so I'm going to leave them side by side. Negative y plus 5. So I can take this and go, whee, and I'm going to substitute it in there. So any questions on that piece? Or are we good? Thumbs up, we're good. Clap, no. Okay. So let's type this up. I have my 3 parentheses. I'm going to plug in this piece right here. So I'm going to put that in red. Negative y plus 5. Parentheses and everything else. Negative 4y equals 1. So simplify this. 3 times a negative, and again, I can put a 1 right there. Negative 1y. That gives me a negative 3y. 3 times a positive 5. 3 times 5 gives me a positive 15. And everything else comes down. Combine your like terms. I have a y here, and I have a y here. Both of them are negative. This is again, blah, 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 blah. Negative 3IO. Negative 4IO. So negative 7IO. So negative 7y plus 15 equals 1. I have to get this the y all by itself. So I'm going to get rid of this 15 by subtracting 15 to both sides. Get negative 7y equals, I have $1, but I want to spend 15. How much more do I need? I need another 14. So 1 minus 15 is a negative 14. And again, I would strongly suggest use a calculator for all of that. The 7's go away, and I'm left with y equals a negative and a negative gives me a positive 2. So my answer is A. How do we feel about that one? Thumbs up or clap? Yeah, this one's a little bit on the trickier side if you're not very good. So again, here it's asking you guys for the y coordinate. So this equation right here is really hard, but this one's really easy. So I always find the easy equation so that I can plug it in the equation. Oh, hold on, my AirPods died. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So I need to make sure that I get rid of this x so that all of these can be y's. So that when I solve it, I get y. If that's too complicated, then just substitute either x or y, solve for both, just like you normally do for substitution, and then find whatever the, you know, pay attention to whichever y is. I only have you guys like pay attention to your x or your y because I want to show you guys the least amount of work that you guys need to do. Solve this one for x so that the y goes away, and then plug that into the x so that all you get is nothing but y so that you can solve it. But that's pretty much what you're going to do for your final as well, is looking up the y coordinate. So as long as you guys can remember this step, then you guys should be fine for solving it. Or you guys can graph it as well. Just convert both of these into y equals mx plus b, and then just graph it, and then find the point that they both intersect, and it's just this number. Be careful because probably one of these is going to be the x, and you don't want to pick the x. For those of you guys having a hard time, I would probably solve that one here. Like I would solve this one so that I can check yours and see if you get it right or not. So you guys can try that one. All right, 14. It says Justin solved the equation 3x plus 5 equals negative 4x minus 2 using the following steps. So here's all of his work. In what step did Justin make a mistake, and what was his mistake? Okay. So let's pay attention here. This goes with this. That's the original. That's where we're starting. This is step 1. This is step 2. And this is step 3. And we want to know which one of these is wrong. So what I would suggest is just solve it underneath. Or again, like over here or down here. You guys have plenty of space. So I see a 3x and a negative 4x. I'm going to get rid of the negative 4x because that'll help me keep everything positive. So always pick the smaller x. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides. 3 plus 4 is 7x plus 5 equals negative 2. That is not what he got. So where did he mess up on? He messed up on step 1. So this is what he messed up on. He should not have added negative 4x and a negative 2. Double check and make sure if that's right, that he did that. Negative 4x minus 2x minus 2. That does make sense that he thought that he did do that. So he added the negative 4 and the negative 2 and got a negative 6. He's not supposed to do that. He should have moved the 4x. And he can't do that anyways because the 2 doesn't have an x. So that's what he got wrong. So make sure that you're paying attention. I've had people in the past solve it and think that this was like step 2 because they didn't realize that this was the original. So they thought this was step 1. So pay attention to which step goes with each one. So you're just trying to find the wrong answer. So where did he mess up? So that's what you're doing with this one. You're trying to see where Tobias messed up. All right. How do we feel on this one? Thumbs up or clap? All right. And the last one. This one we've done so many times. Unfortunately, I still get a few of you guys to mess this one up. But the easiest one to figure out is this one. You're going up 1. All of these are at 1, but this one's moved up 1. So it makes sense that this one should go here. Another thing you guys can check on is if this is this one, the +1, pay attention to this. This has a 4x. So what other one looks like this? This one right here. So this should be 4x because they're almost identical to each other. Only this one's moved up. So these are almost identical. This one is weird. Also, this means you're getting smaller. Your numbers are getting smaller. This is a decrease. This is an increase. So fractions always means that you're getting smaller. Whole numbers means that you're getting bigger. And that's it for 5. All right. You guys technically have your exit ticket up. It should be in the final. So your exit ticket's there. Some of you guys have already started doing that. What I would like you guys to do for the next 10 minutes, and I'll let you guys out 3 minutes early. For the next 10 minutes, make sure that you guys do this exit ticket. And then I want you guys to work on these questions. So if you guys, I would probably pick on the harder questions that you think you might mess up on and work on those first. And then let me know, hey, can you check that one? So that I can go in there and check it. I'll be bouncing back and forth between everybody and letting you know, yes, you're on the right track. No, you should fix this part. And I'll be going through everyone's work. So again, what are you guys doing right now? If you haven't done your exit ticket, do that now. Do not leave. You guys still, in about 10 minutes, I'll let you guys leave. But you guys should be working on all of these questions. This is due Thursday, or sooner. I would rather you guys do it sooner. I'd rather you guys do it today so that you guys are ready for your final tomorrow. And again, it is tomorrow. And then if you guys want me to make sure that one of your questions is done correctly, let me know in chat and then I can jump into that one. But I will be paying attention to who's working and who's not. If you're not working on your final, then I'm probably going to kick you guys out of class. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing and stop recording.